Seattle, Washington! Welcome to the stage!
What's going on, Seattle, Washington? How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the show. Wow, this is amazing. We made it. Give it up one more time for Josh Johnson, please. Very funny. Vince August, you saw him earlier on. This is so much fun. Here we are, Seattle, at the Climate Pledge Arena. It's hard to make climate sound cool. I mean, no, we have to do our part for the climate, but Climate Pledge Arena, it doesn't have the same, you know what I mean? Like, you should have called it the something, you know what I mean? Climate or You'll Die Arena. Climate for Life Arena. The Climate Pledge. I pledge to you, climate. Naming arenas is hard. I mean, in LA, they just changed the staples, right? That's now the Crypto.com Arena. I don't know why the .com makes it seem cheap. I don't know, like, do you know what I mean? .com, it just makes it seem like, meh, I don't know. You know, everything with a .com on the end. We don't do .com anymore, you know, Amazon.com, don't call me. But here we are in Seattle. It's nice, it's chilled out, yeah? Not raining for a change, look at you guys, huh? Switching things up, getting adventurous. Yeah, we almost didn't make it in. It was an interesting day. We were flying in from New York and got to the airport, and they said that my seat on the plane was no longer there. Very strange experience. Yeah, got to the airport, and then we're standing at the gates, and we're getting ready to fly, you know, and then they're like,
Mr. Noah, please report to the gate. Mr. Noah, please report to the gate.
And I was like, well, that's not going to be good. And I get there, and the woman's like,
Mr. Noah, we just want to let you know that your seat is not available anymore.
I'm like, what happened?
She's like, well, unfortunately, 2 of the seats on the plane aren't broken.
I was like, oh, well, I only need one.
She's like, yeah, well, no, yours is one of them.
I was like, I know, I'm joking, but can I get on the plane? She's like,
We don't know. We'll just stand by and we'll let you know.
and I was like, what does that mean? She's like,
Well, we'll see if somebody else doesn't make it, you'll get a seat.
which is a terrible thing to do to people, you know? Because now I have to wish something bad on another person. I'm just standing there the whole time like, somebody trip and die. Somebody get burnt by coffee at Starbucks and you can't fly. I wish evil on every other human being. They got me on the plane, but I was now in a middle seat at the back. Yeah. No, which you go, but I'm not afraid of flying coach, you know what I mean? I'm not afraid of flying coach. I'm not afraid of flying in the middle seat. Like, I was born in coach. I was raised in coach. Batman. No, I'm not afraid of those things. Like, I'm not one of those people who's like, I can't fly anymore. No, I was just angry that they didn't prepare me, because they knew this shit before I left home, right? But then airlines, they can just do whatever they want to you. You know? You can't do anything. You can't even get angry. You're just like, what have you done? They're like, are you a terrorist? No. I'm chilled. You literally can't do anything to an airline. If they just told me, I just wanted them to tell me ahead of time, hey man, before you leave home, you're now in a middle seat. Because when I woke up that morning, I had a business class mentality. Do you know what I'm saying? That was my thing. I woke up and I was like, business class. I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna eat oats. I'm gonna be soft. That's basically what I'm saying. Because business class is a soft experience. You know what I mean? You don't need to hustle in business class. You know, everything about business class, they're like, yes, you have a priority line. Come through security and relax. And then go to a lounge so you can relax some more. You need to relax before you relax on the plane. I mean, the last thing we'd want is for you to be tired before you sleep. I mean, go and relax in the lounge. Everything about business class is bullshit when you think about it, right? Like, a lot of people be like, but Trevor, you prefer it. You prefer it over coach. No, I don't. Because coach has comedy. Business class is terrible. It's just rich people being pretentious as shit, acting like everything they do is normal. Because rich people just invent things because they've got extra money, right? That's what I've realized about having money. Is that like they trick you into spending more money for random things. They'll be like, come to the lounge! What is the lounge? It's a place where we serve tiny, tiny glasses of juice. Yes, and food on a plate smaller than you've ever seen. That's something I've realized is like the more money you make in life, the smaller your food becomes. I don't understand what that's about. It's almost because rich people just don't want to share. They're like, oh, it's done. I would have, but... I don't want to go to the lounge. Lounge is boring. You know, just people in the lounge walking around, acting all businessy because they were in business class. Everyone's on the phone having conversations like, yeah, business, yeah, definitely, mergers and acquisitions, yeah, well, you know what, let's circle back on that, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get back to you, yeah, that sounds good, apropos of nothing, yeah, that sounds good, let's put a pin in that one, okay, okay, sounds good to me, yeah, you can slack me, that sounds good, business, I don't wanna listen to that shit. I want to be in coach, where people are having real conversations. No one's running around saying business. No, people are saying real, meaningful things like, you said you put it in the bag! Oh my God, Cynthia, you said you put it in the bag! And now I'm hooked. What was meant to be in the bag? Is it a passport? Is it a baby? This is drama. I just wanted them to tell me ahead of time. Prepare me. I leave home, business class. It's too soft. You know, when you're flying coach, when you're flying middle seat as well, you gotta prepare your mind. Everything about coach is mental preparation. You know, business class is like some of the things don't even make sense. Like business class, your whole journey is easy, and then on top of that, they let you board the plane first. Who made that rule? You're supposed to board a plane from the back. That's how you board a plane. You board it from the back. It's the most efficient way to board a craft. Person at the back, you need the most time. Go. No, business class passengers will let you board the plane first. Why? Oh, I'm tired. I was in the lounge. I need to sit in my big chair and then watch people come by and judge them. No, you have no business in this class. I will say that is the one fun thing about sitting in business class, is watching people come in and they've got a ticket that's like 23F, and they get in the plane and then they immediately start looking up. And you're like, my man, it's 23. But the optimism people have, they'll be like 23, maybe this plane starts at 20? Maybe, let's see. No, that's 1. Maybe they skip, maybe it's square roots. No, that's 2. Okay, I guess I'm at the back. Yeah, business class world is just like, you know, they sit there in the front. They do random things that don't make sense in business class. Like they give you a hot towel. It's one of the most random things I've come across. They literally give you a hot towel when you come into business class. Yeah, so they're like, would you like a hot towel? And everyone takes it. It's the most normal thing in the world. Yes. Who doesn't need a piping hot towel? Yes, too hot to hold. What do we use this for? I don't know, but everyone grabs it. Oh, yes, thank you. Yes. I flew once without a hot towel. It was terrible. Terrible. You know how you know it's bullshit? Is because I've seen, like, everyone on the plane in business class, they do what everyone else does with the hot towel. Like, whoever uses it first, they dictate what everyone else is going to do with it. Like, no one knows what to do. The first person gets it, and they'll be like, thank you very much, thank you. And then everyone else is like, yeah. Or if someone gets it and they wipe their hands, then everyone else, yes, of course. I'll never forget the first time I was sitting in the first seat in the first row of the plane. They gave me the hot towel, and I was like, oh, shit. Starting this party. I just wanted to know ahead of time. Just tell me that I'm flying in the middle, because the middle seat, man, that's a state of mind, that's a mentality. When I'm flying middle seat, I wake up, play the Rocky song. head out of bed and I'm like, this is it! Go down to the gym, do as many arm workouts as possible. Because you know the armrest, that's gonna be a battle the entire flight. That's all middle seat is. It's a tactical game of waiting people out. Oh, and I'll tell you now, Seattle, I'm an expert at that game. Because I went on that flight and I was like, all right, I'm not prepared, but I know what to do. Sat in the middle, acted like everything was gonna be fine. Hello. Ah, yes, now we wait. The key is to wait for the passengers on either side of you to make a mistake. Because what they do is, they'll put their arms on the armrest and then you get in there in the middle and then you sit like this. You can't tell them to move the thing. You can't be like, that's my armrest. It is technically, but you won't tell them that. So what I do is I wait. The person at the window, they always make the first mistake because they lean to get the shutter going down. You know, so as we take off, they'll be like, ha, and I'm like, ha! And they always come back. And then they look at me. They always just stare at you. That's what they do. I love that. They just stare at you, hoping that like somehow who's gonna be like guilty and be like, no, you can have it back. No, they just stare straight ahead. Like when I cut people off in traffic. That's what I do. You see them looking at the side of my head and I'm like, I've got that armrest, I wait. And the person in the aisle, their mistake happens whenever the food cart comes past. Because they distract you with that. Would you like to join us for anything? Yeah, let me see what you... Ha! And then I've got both. And then it's over. I just sit there now. 5-6 hours. I do not move. I'm like, sir, will you be joining us? Will you be eating? Yes, please. Yes, please. What would you like, sir? I'll have the chicken. All right, sir. Can I hand it to you? Yeah, just put it here. You put it here. You put it here. Sir, can I give it to you? No, I'm not moving my hands. You just put it here. Feed it to me like a bird. I know what these two are waiting for. It was fun flying a bit. I didn't care. I didn't really stress. You know, I was happy to be on a plane. Really stressed. You know, I was happy to be on a plane. Happy to be going somewhere. After like 15 months of being stuck at home, I'm happy to be anywhere. You know, look at this, huh? I don't take this for granted anymore. This is wild. You realize this at any time, you can just like go away. They can just be like, no, you're staying at home, you're grounded. Now look, we're together again, you know? I mean, yes, everyone with the masks, it's a little bit weird. It's funny how masks used to be like the thing of a villain, you know? And now you're just like, look how safe I am. You know what I mean? Like all the villains from the past, they come back now like Darth Vader. Everyone is like, all of you came to the dark side. No, we're just trying to be safe. We're just trying to be safe. I'm happy to be anywhere. Happy to be living, happy to be doing things, and happy to be flying. I was even listening to the safety announcements. Yeah, I had the card and everything. They're like, can we have your attention, please? It's like, yes, you may. It's amazing that we don't listen to the flight attendants. These people are trying to save our lives. Every single one of us, they're trying to save our lives. Nobody gives a shit. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, you're like, shut up! I'm watching Moana! We listen to the pilots, right? They don't give you any information. They don't give you anything crucial. Like pilots just say pilot things to sound cool. We all listen to them whenever they come on. You've got that pilot voice of theirs. Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, we're on board this American Airlines flight, flying in from New York City, heading towards Seattle. It's looking like a pretty fine day. A few bumps as we head up to our cruising altitude, but shouldn't be too bad. I'm waiting for the last few bags to get loaded on board, and as soon as we close the cabin doors, we're gonna be heading off, taking off on runway 3. Why do we know? Who cares? I don't know what runway we're supposed to be on. Cruising altitude 32,000 feet. Ah, yes, my favorite altitude. Yes. What a fine altitude that is. I just love telling you things just to sound cool. You know, the cabin crew's gonna be looking after you in the back of the plane, and I've got my trusty co-pilot who's gonna be looking after us. How much time do you want to give in the air? Why do they always sound like the receiving head in the cockpit? Can anybody tell me this? Why does every pilot sound like they're receiving immense pleasure And they cannot control their voice. Like, it sounds like they're trying to concentrate, they're trying. It's like, here's what I changed. We're gonna be serving drinks when we get up to. On the back of the craft, we get up to. So until we get up there, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. What is that? But we made it, that's all that matters. Yeah, made it, got to the airport, waiting for our luggage. Little dogs were coming around sniffing stuff. I found those dogs adorable. Yeah, they had them here at the arena as well. So at the airport, they have like the drug sniffing dogs. Those dogs are cool. Because they know that they can end your life if they just stand by your bag a little too long. You can feel it, like those dogs, they just come to your bag and like, and they look at you like, oh. Nah, I'm just messing with you. Here at the arena, they had bomb dogs. Yeah, it was weird. When I was driving in our car, and they stopped us like, sir, can you stop the vehicle, please? We just need to scan the vehicle for any bombs. I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, we just gotta make sure there's no bombs. I was like, yeah, but it's my car. Like, we gotta check it anyway. Like, cause you think I'm gonna come blow me up? It's my show. You never know, so. No, you do know. Why would I fly all the way from New York to blow me up? You know how much traffic I had to sit through? Are you shitting me? And then the dog just comes on the vehicle. The dog just saying, it's so adorable. We don't deserve them. They're just like, that dog is there. It's like, I'll find it. What are we looking for? We're looking for a bomb. A what? Yo, I thought we're looking for a treat. No, I'll give you a treat if you find the bomb. Why would I look for a bomb? But they do, they search, and then they're like, I found the bomb, I saved your life, I found the bomb. It's amazing, we don't deserve them. You know, they save our lives. Find the bombs, find the weapons, find disease inside of us. Cats don't do shit. Nothing. Huh? Cats have a sense of smell that is as good. They could be helping us find bombs, but no, we can't use them. Why? Because we know we can't trust them. Cats would let us all die. Yeah, you'd be there, you'd be like, what is it, Whiskers? Is there a bomb? Is there a bomb? Cat would be like, they'd know there's a bomb, and they'd be like, no, you're fine. Now your house is mine. Cats are dicks. It's been a fun week as well. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day. Happy whatever thing you call it. It's a very awkward day, I will say that. We don't celebrate anything like that in South Africa, and so, like this year, the friends of mine were like, Trevor, your family's not here and you can't go anywhere. Would you like to come spend Thanksgiving with us? And so I accepted, and I regretted it. No, because I've never been to a more awkward thing. And by the sounds of it, it seems like this is just like a common occurrence in America. It's just like everyone knows Thanksgiving is gonna be tense. Everyone's just like, yeah, my uncle's coming. My mom hates her sister. They're like, why are you guys doing this? Because it's Thanksgiving. We have to do it. We gotta see family we hate and eat an overrated bird. Why are you eating that bird? It's terrible. Listen, you know how you know it's terrible? Because you don't eat it at any other time. No one's ever craving turkey. I want some turkey. Nothing. You just sit there, dry meat, dry conversation. So what have you been up to? What are your views on politics? I hate you. Would you like some stuffing? What is stuffing? It's the food inside the food. Welcome to America. The whole thing is random. You know, it's just a lot of tension, a lot of angst. But then I read the history of Thanksgiving, and then I was like, oh, I mean, it makes sense. You know, this is almost living true to the history of what it was. Yeah. You're basically supposed to sit with a group of people where you're like, you messed up my life. Well, I guess we have to eat. I enjoy it all. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't know where life is gonna go. I don't know what life will be. I mean, every day I think I know what a plan is, and then I don't. I mean, I thought I was gonna go home, visit my family, and then today they announced South Africa banned. No travel to South Africa. Why? Because there's a new coronavirus variant. As DJ Khaled would say, another one. You know what pissed me off about it today, though, Seattle? Is that people are calling it the South African variant, right? And the thing is, we discovered it. So, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this. But South Africa has some of the best immunologists in the world, right? We have some of the best scientists in the world who work at sequencing, like just figuring out like the sequencing of all of these viruses and diseases. And the reason we had that is because we had a huge HIV epidemic, and we were like, all right, we need to build some labs, we need to figure out what the hell is going on with viruses. That's what South Africans are doing. But then now, every time we discover the variant, we get punished for it. Literally now, South Africans are like, we did it! We've discovered another variant! World, we've discovered a variant! And then the world was like, shut the border! Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean shut the border? What are you doing? And the UK was like, oh yes, thank you for that, South Africa. The borders are now closed to you. It's like, what are you doing? You know what this seems like? It's like when you find out that one of your friends is being cheated on, you know, and then you tell them, you're like, hey, your partner is cheating on you. And they're like, I hate you. What? Thank you for the information. I hate you. This is crazy. Like, we discovered the variant. We get banned from the world. South Africans cannot go anywhere now. The UK, Europe, America, 20 cases, by the way. That's how many, like, we know of in South Africa, 20. We have 2,500 new cases a day. Yeah. The UK has 45,000 new cases a day. Germany has 75,000 new cases a day. And then they're like, we're banning you. It's like, why us? And they're like, okay, not just you and Botswana, and then like, yeah, a few more other countries in Africa. What about Hong Kong? No, I mean, they've also got it, but meh. What about Israel? Meh. Why just us? I don't know. Just Africa? Yeah, just Africa. Is there a reason for this? I don't know, you'll figure it out. What is this policy, England? It's called he who smelt it, dealt it. It's ridiculous. I don't know what anything will be. I think none of us know, right? That's what's made this whole pandemic so scary. We don't know. Every day now. You know, like before we'd just be like, you've got to just be grateful. Now it's real. Like before it was just like some hippy-dippy thing that you said just to seem good to people. Oh, I'm grateful every day. No, now you really are grateful every day. Because we don't know. You know, I used to judge people when I would watch horror movies. No, I did. I used to love watching horror movies. Especially like where there'd be like a monster hunting people, you know, like a Quiet Place. You know that movie? I love that movie so much, you know. And I always used to judge the people who'd be hiding, and that thing would be hunting them, like. Everyone would be hiding in a shed. So there's one person whose like phone would go off. Sorry, Uber Eats. Can you leave it at the door, please? Yeah, just leave it at the door. And there'd always be that one person, right? The monster's outside, everyone's huddled together, and then there'd always be that one person. That one person would just burst out and be like, I can't take it anymore! And they just run outside. Ah! And the monster would chop off their head. Ah! And I'd always watch the movie and I'd be like, you idiots! Why didn't you just wait? You just had to be patient and you would have been fine. What an idiot. What is wrong with you? And then the pandemic hits. We got to like month 13. And I was like, now I get it. Because I don't care who you are, your patience has limits. You know? I mean, don't get me wrong, the people who were like angry in the first month, those people are crazy. Those people still blow my mind. Like literally, we were in like the first week of the pandemic. They're like, everyone stay at home. They're like, this is tyranny! Like, what? It's been like 5 days. This is oppression! I love how in America there's like a specific group of white men where if anyone tells them to do anything, they immediately go to, this is tyranny! This is oppression! What is oppression? You can't just tell me what to do! Sir, please, stand over there. No! This is tyranny! No, it's not, sir. That's where you pick up your coffee. Please, over there. Okay, sorry. Thank you very much! It's tyranny. It has been wild, though. I mean, because we don't know what it's going to be, where it's going to go. They told us it would be 21 days. Now here we are. What are we, month 20? I've lost count. Right? They said 21 days. Remember that? Oh, we were so hopeful. Yeah. It started like a fun sleepover. We're like, everyone just go home for a while. 3 weeks. We're like, ooh, we should all make our own bubbles. We're just gonna stay at home together. It's gonna be so much fun. World leaders didn't take it seriously. Yeah, I mean, some did. You know, like Australia, that blew my mind. Yeah, of all the countries who I thought would take it seriously, I'm not gonna lie, Australia wouldn't have been on my list. Australians don't seem like they take anything seriously. Like literally, when you greet an Australian, like, you know, like we say, hello, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. In Australia, if you say like, how are you? They go like, oh, no worries, mate. That's the greeting. No worries. These are the people who punch kangaroos. And they took it seriously. They're just like, oh yeah, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna try and follow the science. What? I would have never, I like, even when they did it, even when they said it, they were like, Australia has some of the harshest lockdowns in the world. I was like, well, I mean, how harsh can they be? I mean, I know you're inside, but it's still an Australian's telling you to be inside, you know? Well, you gotta stay inside. It's like, because Australians don't ever sound like, you know, like if I had a terminal disease, I would hope to have an Australian doctor. I mean, I'd still die, but at least I'd feel good about it, you know? Yeah, just walk in and be like, oh, bad news, Trev. You're soon gonna be dead. I'd be like, yep, you win some, you lose some, doc. No worries. Other countries didn't take it seriously. The UK didn't take it seriously. The US didn't take it seriously. I remember Boris Johnson. Do you remember when he came out? He had a press conference where, like, people were warning what you could or couldn't do with COVID, right? And he went to a hospital, and he was like just messing around. He was like touching people. He was hugging them. And then afterwards, they said, "Oh, Prime Minister Johnson, do you regret what you did?" And he said, "Look, let me tell you something. I think a lot of people are overreacting, right? They said, don't touch anyone, don't hug anyone. I'll tell you now, I did all of that, okay? I did all of that. I enjoyed it. This virus is not that bad. It was really not the worst thing in the world. You can do whatever you like. It's not going to be that bad. I think everybody can enjoy their lives." And then Trump came out. He basically did the same thing. He came out and he's like, we're gonna be fine. We're all gonna be fine. In 21 days, this will all disappear. 21 days. Some are even saying 20. Didn't care. And then COVID came. kicked them both in the chest. Bam! They almost died. Both of them almost died. I mean, Boris, at least to his credit, he saw the light, because he came literally from the hospital and held another press conference. He's like, all right, everybody, you've got to take this thing seriously. This is not a joke. We're shutting down the pubs. We're shutting down the football games. Everything is going down. This is not a joke. Do not touch anybody. I promise you now. Like, the way he was so frantic, it seemed like COVID chased him from the hospital. Literally, like the way he was like, I promise you now, you've got to do this thing. You've got, like, I was just waiting for him to be like, okay, I can't talk. I've got to go. I think it's coming. COVID is coming. I thought he was going to run away. Like, I don't like COVID was just gonna come like. At least, he saw a little bit of the light. Yeah. Trump, on the other hand, bad. Yo, that guy's stubborn. He did not mess. He came from the hospital. Huh? Having just had an interview with death, came from the hospital, and he was like, if I can do it, so can you. How did anybody vote for that man? Can you tell me this? No, for real. And listen, I don't mean on a political level. Because I mean, like, whatever. The Americans vote Republican, Democrat, Republican. You've only got two parties for some ridiculous reason. And so you're always gonna vote for one of the two. I understand that concept, but Trump himself, I don't understand. There's so many other Republicans who would have given you the same thing. Like, if you wanted a Republican, but why Trump? Like, because there were Republicans who were shocked when he got into power, and they're like, why is he still tweeting? Why isn't he doing his job? I thought he was good. You thought he was what? I thought he was, you thought he was what? I'm just surprised. You're surprised? That guy surprised you? That guy surprised you? Yo, Trump is the most predictable person you have ever come across. Like, if you were in a movie, right? If you were watching a movie, like Kaiser Soze, The Usual Suspects, one of those, and there's a bunch of suspects lined up there, and like, what about him? It's like, I didn't do it. What about him? Like, I didn't commit the crime. What about her? I didn't do it. And him? I didn't do it. Be like, yo, that's the guy. I mean, come on, that's like a cliched villain. Who talks like that? Huh? Who looks like that? That is why he won, though. I mean, that is something I've learned about America. It's like, if you want to win an American election, as a president specifically, you have to speak in the strangest manner possible, then you win. I didn't make the rules, you guys did. Everyone thinks it's about policies. It's not policies, it's about performance. You know, it's about how you say the things. And if you say them in a strange way, if you have like a weird cadence or your voice has a strange note, people just want to vote for you. I don't know what it is. Maybe it makes you memorable. All of them, like all American presidents, is like as far back as you have recordings. You know, like JFK. As hot as your honey can do for you. As what you can do for your honey. Like somebody was shaking you while he was saying it. People are like, yeah, that guy. That's not normal. No one talks like that. Huh? Was he in McDonald's doing, help me get one, number 3, please? Who speaks like that? No American president speaks normally. None of them. None of them. Like George Bush, he didn't speak normally. Huh? He had that thing. You're gonna find the people responsible. Fool me once. People are like, yeah, that guy. There's something about him. Bill Clinton, he didn't speak normally at all. I ought not have sexual relations with that woman. That's not normal. That voice is not normal. Barack Obama, he didn't speak normally. It's Americans. What was that? It always sounded like he was buffering. What we gotta try to do in this country is we We're gonna work hard to find faster internet. He doesn't talk normally. Joe Biden, he doesn't speak normally. He does that weird like mumble thing of it. Americans have been found in this dream company. You look at these men as we're going over here and we're going from Negro and come on, man, come on. But Trump was the way, like Trump did that. I don't even know what that was. I say. Trump, you know what he reminded me of? Is like when I was a kid, you know, like my favorite movies. Like I mean, all kids we used to have those movies. It was like there was always that one funny scene where there would be someone in the movie where they would throw like ants into their clothes, like it would be red ants or something. Trump always spoke like those red ants, you know, like he was a character in a kid's movie and the ants were biting him and he's like, I want you to all know that what we're doing is gonna be. And all the kids are like, ha ha ha. What was that? Because it didn't happen at the right place. It wasn't like inflection where you would expect it. It would just come out of nowhere. And then it would go low. So low. And then sometimes you would die like something was in his throat. And you would think it's there. You would think it's gonna stay there. But it wouldn't. I never knew where to put the volume on my TV when he would speak. I'd be like watching him give a speech and then I'd be like, more volume, more. What is he saying? And so we look at trying to drive it. I felt like I was like a kid again, trying to watch porn in the house. Did you ever do that as a kid? Remember that? You'd be sitting there trying to watch porn and your parents are in the house? Like and you'd be like watching something on TV, even if it wasn't porn, it was just like a nudie movie and you'd be like, oh, you'd be watching and I remember I'd turn up the volume and I'm like, what are they saying? What are they saying? I need to understand what's happening here. People will always be there in those pornos. You're gonna find Dreamer. What? Oh, never gonna find. What are they saying? What are they saying? It must be something provocative. It must be powerful. Volume up. No. You wouldn't know if your parents heard it, you'd panic, change the channel to National Geographic. Your mom comes in, what's happening here? No, nothing, Mom, I'm just watching nature documentaries. And the young man sits on his couch, hiding the erection under a pillow. It was always random for me when I was growing up. Most of the porn that we had in South Africa when I was growing up for some reason was Southern porn. I don't understand why. Very random thing. It's like every VHS tape that would pop up in my life was from like the South. It was like random, it was like, I didn't even know where, I didn't even know if there was like a shipping container that crashed off the coast of the country. And then like VHS cassettes like just washed up on the shores of South Africa. You know, and there was like one Bushman who found it and he was like, I don't know. But that's all I watched as a kid. And not a lot, by the way. That was the thing I appreciated. I was actually talking to a friend the other day and I was saying like, I think one of the worst things that has happened to young men in this day and age is just like the proliferation of porn. There's too much porn. There's way too much porn. Like it's just like it's excessive. There, it's all the time. It's ubiquitous. It's just porn. Anytime you want, just type porn and you can watch porn at any porn. Any point you're just like, bam, porn like this, porn like that, porn like this, that's that. It's like, and then anal, go, bam, which is ridiculous. You can't just jump into anal, you know what I mean? It's gotta be like a birthday or something, do you know what I mean? You can't. And what I think, honestly, is I think it's destroying young men's brains. I think it's creating unrealistic expectations in their heads of themselves in sex, of women in sex as well. I genuinely do. I think it's hurting young men. You know, I think it's affecting their ability to have genuine connections with women. You know, because men out there, they watch porn, from like a young age, from like 12, 13, it's like porn, click, porn, sex. Then they meet women in real life, and then they're like, you, do the sex thing, do it. Why aren't you doing it? And women are like, what are you talking about? Say something. I don't say something, just I realized actually, I was like, I actually appreciated the porn that I had growing up as a kid. You know, because it was simple. It was like you had it when you had it. It wasn't all the time. You know, there would just be like one tape that would pop up. One kid in school would just find it. You know, like an artifact. The news would spread throughout the schoolyard. Timmy found a tape. What? Timmy found a tape. A tape. Timmy found a tape. And everyone would get together like, where do we watch it? Let's watch it at Brian's house. His dad is divorced. And we'd all gather there. Everyone would sit around, tube TV, put on the VHS cassette. Pew! And it would start. FBI would be like, ah! Oh no, this is just if we copy the tape. We're safe. What I appreciated was that it was a movie, it was a story. I think that's what I appreciated, it was a story. You know, it wouldn't just jump into sex. Something would need to happen. You know, there'd be a woman in her kitchen doing something. You know, running errands, doing stuff in the house. You know, all of a sudden, her dishwasher would spray water on her. Oh no, what has happened? Oh. My white t-shirt is totally wet. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? The dishwasher doesn't work anymore. And the doorbell would ring. Bing bong. Who could that be? Good afternoon, sir. Can I help you? No, ma'am. The question is, can I help you? Well, my pipes might be broken. Oh, I can fix your pipes. Well, come on in. He'd go there and he'd start working through the stuff. She'd be like, wow, you're so good at your job. Well, I try, man. Oh, you do, don't you? And the music would start. And you knew when the music started, oh, it was about to go down. And it would slowly get into the action. You'd be like, you want it, baby? I want it, baby. Do you want it, honey? Give it to me, baby. And they would get into it. Have sex. You know what I appreciated about that porn is that it taught me valuable lessons about life. It really did. It taught me valuable lessons about life. You know, one of the things I learned is that if I was going to be entering into sexual relations with a woman, I would need to have a conversation with her first. I would need to engage her, talk to her, understand her as a human being. I also understood the meaning of consent. Do you want it, baby? Give it to me, darling. Do you want it, baby? Oh, yes, please, baby. And most importantly, I learned if I wanted to have relations with a woman, I would need to have a job. It was always something, though. I didn't understand that. Just random, which was weird for me because when I first started coming and doing shows in America, I'd jump in a car and then I'll just drive around the U.S., go from comedy club to comedy club, state to state. And then one day I was in Mississippi and I was doing a show, and I ended up at a gas station and I was pouring some gas, and some guys pulled up in a pickup truck, two gentlemen. They jumped out, and the one looked over at me and he was like, "Well, what do we have over here?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a car." I was like, what? You think you funny, boy? I was like, actually, I have a show, and he's like, okay, you think you funny, yeah? And his friend came around, he's like, he's talking back to you? And they said something to each other, and they started walking over. I was like, is something wrong here, gentlemen? He's like, oh, something wrong. Oh, you know what's about to happen, don't you, boy? And I was looking at them, and all I could hear in my head was, pow, chicka, pow, pow. Yeah, we dated for 6 months. It was really good. is love. You never know how it'll start. 21 days, Seattle, that's what they told us. They said it will be 21 days. We weren't prepared. Well, sometimes I blame myself for the whole pandemic. I do. I blame myself, I blame all of us. I think every single one of us, we wished. That was our problem, we wished. We made a lot of wishes, but I feel like we weren't specific enough. And then COVID came in like an asshole genie that made all of our wishes sort of come true. Because think about it, everything that we got now is what we wished for. We just weren't specific enough. It's like we found a little old lamp, we rubbed it. We didn't write out the terms and conditions of all of our wishes. Yeah, think about it. Huh? In 2019, weren't we all there rubbing our lamps, making that wish? Oh, I wish I didn't have to go into the office every day. And Genie was like, now your living room is your office. May you die at death of Zoom. Zoom was cool when it started. Then at some point you were like, this is my life. Sitting there glued. It's so unnatural as well. Because you realize when you're in an office, you can look off, you can talk. With Zoom, you're like this. Yeah, Brian, you're on mute. No, it's fine. And then your head, you're like, it's not fine, I'll kill you, Brian. Horrible experience. All of us, we wished. All made wishes, huh? How many parents in 2019 were rubbing that lamp saying, oh, I wish I could just spend all day with these little ones. Oh. More. Yeah, that was a journey for parents. First few months of the pandemic, they were like, my children are the most important thing to this place. You put on a mask, you keep them safe, they're not going anywhere. Month 14 came and they're like, all right, Johnny, it's time to go back to school. You gotta get back out, you gotta start living your life, kid. Well, Mommy, the Delta variant. Look, either your lungs are gonna work or they ain't, okay? It's time for you to find out. Get out there. Just do it on your own. If Simba could do it, so could you. We all wished. We all rubbed that lamp, every single one of us. Just rub the lamp, huh? How many of us were sitting at home like lovebirds, rubbing that lamp like, oh, I wish we could just spend every minute of every day together. Me too. I wish I never left your side. Oh! The pandemic taught me a valuable lesson, and that is love may be unconditional, but like has a time limit. I love you, but I don't think I like you anymore. Because like needs to recharge. You know, everything in life, you like it because you don't have it all. Do you know what I'm saying? I like water. Give me too much, I drown. You know, I like the sun. Too much, I burn. Yes. It's like, I like you. I like you. You want to like the person that you're dating. We all wish to like them. You love them. You genuinely love them. But liking them, oh, that's a very different thing. It really is, because you're like, I love you, of course I love you, but to like you requires you to go away. Go away. And then I'm like, I like this person. I like them. I like when they're on the couch. I like when we talk. I like watching TV together. But if they're always here, then you're like, I like them not being here. It all started like a date. And then there we were. It's the second year of a pandemic. You're sitting in the house with the love of your life, day in and day out. You'd hear them coughing in another room, and you'd be like, yes. Oh, yes. Take them now, Jesus. Oh, Lord, if it's their time, it's their time, Lord. Let thy will be done, Lord Jesus. I'm ready to move on. Oh, man. What a ridiculous time it's been, Seattle. Oh, I love you too, man. Thank you for coming to a show. Thank you for being here. You know, I take none of this for granted, right? I mean, not that I did, but like now I really don't take. When the borders opened up, I traveled as soon as I could. I was planning to go back home to South Africa, and then I couldn't. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Europe. I'm just gonna go to Europe and see what it's all about. Went to Paris for the first time. I've always said I would go to Paris. I was like, I should go to Paris. I should go to Paris. I go to Paris. I go to Paris. And then I only go where I work. So then I never went to Paris. And then now I went to Paris, and I wasn't working. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It was so French. No, like you think you know how French, like Paris is like French. Like and the French love being French. Ooh. I've never seen anybody who enjoys being their thing like the French. You know what I mean? They just have a thing about them where they're like, like they just, like we don't have that. Like as English speakers, I don't think we have like the same joy and love, you get what I'm saying, for like our language and our thing. Like I always feel like language is like an interesting way to understand like the culture. Like I feel like English speakers, we speak English, yes, but we're not like in love with English. The French love French. They love it. Like, you know, like English speakers, I almost feel like we're insecure about English. You know, like sometimes we'll go to other languages for a word. Do you know what I mean? Like we'll be talking to our friends, we'll say something, they say something cool, we'll be like, haha, touche. That's, like French people never do that. They would never dare. They're not in the middle of a conversation and be like, j'ai poudre dessus. Dans ton danser, ah ha ha, you touch me. No. French people are just like, I have all the words I really need, huh? Why would I take something from English? Puh. They hate anything that isn't French. Just walking around in Paris, like walk into a store. They'd be so nice to you before they realize you don't speak French. You walk in, like, bonjour! They're like, oh, hello. Oh, hello. Let me know if you need anything. Like class, maybe. It's like really hard. They also don't like let you learn French, which is another thing. You know, because in other countries, if you try, people will be like, oh yes, you're getting it, try. You know, like a lot of people talk shit about English speakers. They'll be like, oh, you know, English speakers are assholes and they judge me. But I think English is actually one of the most accommodating languages in the world. You realize you can speak English with an accent and people go, yes, you're speaking English, right? You speak English with an American accent, I'm an American, this is how I speak English. People are like, oh, that's English. I speak English with a South African accent, people are like, oh, that's English. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are in the world. You can be like, yes, I got to speak English like this. This is how I got to say the words. And we're like, oh, the guy was speaking English. French people, no. Unless it's French, it's nothing. I was trying, I was like, I'm gonna learn. I was walking around, I'd be like, bonjour. I'd be like, bonjour. Yes, comment ça va? Non, bonjour. Bonjour? No, bonjour. 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 I'm saying that. No, you are not. You're saying bonjour. I'm saying bonjour, like you. No, bonjour. Bonjour. I was there long enough to see through the facade. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, the French, oh my God, they're like this, they got the sexiest accent. I don't think it's sexy at all. No, I think the French language is one of the most beautiful languages, one of the most romantic languages. I think the French accent is slimy and hesitant. I don't care what anybody says. I was thinking maybe we could And no wonder they never won any wars. You can't fight like that. You're not built for battle, buddy. Can you imagine like going up against the Germans? The most efficient race in history? You French? You don't even need to know the art of war to know who's gonna come out on top. Just listen to how these people count. The Germans. 1, 2, 3. Straight to the point, efficient. The French, deux, trois. This is not gonna end well, buddy. Can you imagine what it must have been like at the peak of the war? Like the Germans flying in with the Luftwaffe, attacking with blitzkrieg, which literally means like lightning power. That's how quick it is. French soldier running in the barracks. Sergeant! Sergeant! Oui, Philippe. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? What is it? The Germans! They are, how you say? They are, not so sexy now. Fun travels. Paris. Stopped in Florence as well. It was beautiful. Wow. It was like a really wonderful journey. Popped into Germany to visit some extended family of mine. It was an interesting trip that I regretted. Not the trip itself. So what happened was I decided to start learning German during the pandemic, right? I have extended family that's German. My dad is Swiss German, and so I was like, oh, I should learn German. You know, like during the pandemic, I was like, oh, we're gonna bake bread, we're gonna learn new languages. I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn German. And so I spent a lot of time online learning German, and I got pretty decent. However, what I didn't know is that, because I wasn't speaking to anyone, I wouldn't have known this, but apparently when I speak German, the way I pronounce the words and my inflections, I tend to sound like Hitler. Yeah. I didn't know this. Duolingo doesn't tell you. It just gave me a top score. It wasn't like, top score, a bit fascist though. I just knew how to read a newspaper. I didn't know I was reading it like Hitler. And I only learned this when I went to Germany. I was like, I'm gonna pop into Germany, see some of my extended family. And I was with one of my cousins, a guy by the name of Rolf. And we hang out, and we speak English together. Like, his English is way better than my German, so we speak English most of the time. And so one day, the day I find this out, Rolf and I are going around in Cologne, Germany, beautiful city. If you've never gone, you should go. So we're in Cologne, we're going around, and Rolf is like, Trevor, are you hungry? Yeah, would you like to eat something? And I was like, yeah. I was like, where do you want to go, Rolf? He's like, we should try something authentic in German, yeah? Something really special. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. What do you suggest? He's like, oh, there's a Subway, yeah? Like the sandwiches? He's like, yeah, you know that, but we have a German one. It's quite better than that, right? Because Germans, we love our bread and our meat, and we have to go there. All right, whatever, man. Sandwich is a sandwich. But he took me to this place which was actually really wonderful. And the Germans do love their bread and their meats. It's part of their culture. It's a very institutional thing. And so we walk into this place. And Rolf is like, okay, yeah, Trevor, what would you like to eat, yeah? And I was like, oh no, actually, Rolf, you know what? I haven't been practicing my German. I was like, let me order the food, right? And he's like, so, okay, yeah, you want to buy the food? And I was like, no, you buy it. I just want to order, just so I can practice. Like, okay, yeah, no, okay, go ahead. But it's quite difficult with the different menu and the breads. I was like, no, I think I got it. He's like, are you sure? Because, you can also just ask me to. I was like, Rolf, I got it, relax. So I walked up to the counter. And the woman behind the counter, she was really nice, it was really sweet. And she's like, Guten Tag, kann ich dich helfen? And I walked up and I was like, Guten Tag! Ich will ein Schweinebrötchen haben, bitte schön! Das Wasserbrötchen mit der Käse und das Schinken, bitte schön! Und gib für mich ein Pepsi-Cola, danke! And she shat herself. I'll never forget the look on this woman's face. She was petrified behind the counter, and she was like, oh mein Gott, der schwarze Hitler. Which means, oh my God, the black Hitler. We got our food and we left. I was devastated. Rolf thought it was hilarious. Yeah, we're in the car driving home and he's like, oh mein Gott, der schwarze Hitler. Der schwarze Hitler, oh mein Gott. Oh, Trevor, can you imagine if Hitler was black? It totally wouldn't have worked, yeah? Der schwarze Hitler. Like, Rolf, it's not funny. He's like, yeah, but it also is, yeah. Because you should have seen your face. It looked like you were about to invade Poland and the brown bread section. Like, Rolf, it's not funny, dude. I've learned German. I have to go and unlearn all of the German. This is not cool. He's like, yeah, calm down, Trevor. Yeah, calm down, okay? Just indulge me in my Schadenfreude, all right? Yeah. He actually told me a new word that day, Schadenfreude. I've never heard that. It's a German word, Schadenfreude, which means to take joy in the pain and suffering of others. Yeah. Fun fact, that word has never been translated into another language. And what I mean by that is, like, no other language has adopted that word, which is quite uncommon. A lot of words have moved between languages. Like I said, English, we have many of those. And we'll be like, oh yeah, we'll take that word, we'll have it as well. We'll change it into an English word, but we didn't do that. Schadenfreude, no other language has a word for that. To take joy in the pain and suffering of others. Only German. Yeah. Clearly, like, when we were building the language, like, English people were just like there, they were building the language, and the Germans showed up, and they were like, hello? Auf Wiedersehen to all of you. What are you doing here? Oh, hello, Germans. We're actually building our language. Yes, got some Latin, got a little bit of Italian, it's got a bit of French. Do you have any German words? Yeah, we have a word for you. The word is Schadenfreude. It means to take joy in the pain and suffering of others. No, thank you. Yeah, I think we're going to skip that. Thank you very much. Okay, suit yourself. And we just never used it. Schadenfreude. It sounds worse than it is, really. You know, the pain and suffering of others. We all experience Schadenfreude. We do. Like when you're driving on the freeway, and it's just like smooth sailing, and there's no cars in front of you, and you're just driving along, and then you look at the traffic going in the opposite direction, and the cars are just backed up. You know what I mean? You just look over at them and you're like, I made the right choices in life. Yeah, that's Schadenfreude. That's what that is. Schadenfreude. That's wild. So I have to figure out, do I unlearn German? Learn another language? I love learning languages. I always feel like learning another language gives you like another part of your personality. You know, like, I don't think anybody's exactly the same in different languages. I think if you speak multiple languages, you learn different parts of yourself. Also, learning a new language humbles you because you have to start like as a child in another language. It's a really wonderful experience, you know? I'd encourage anyone to try it, just not French. It's gonna be pointless. One of the things like people ask me, they'll go like, Trevor, how do you learn languages? You know, because I speak 6 languages. And then people will say to me, how do you learn? How do you learn language? And it's actually really simple. It's 3 rules for me. Is number 1, you just immerse yourself as much as you can, right? Number 2, don't be afraid to look like an idiot. Just do it, because too many people want to look cool when they learn language. You just do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why kids learn languages, because they're not afraid of looking like an idiot. And then we encourage them, you know? Because like, it would be shitty if like a kid made a mistake, but they came in and they're like, hey, are you your daddy? And you're like, you're an idiot. What are you saying? I will say that drinking. You're like, you're a loser. And they're like, I'm never gonna learn English. So don't be afraid to look like an idiot. And so those are the two biggest things, you know, when you're trying to learn a new language. And then another one, and this one's learn the rhythm of the language. It's like a music. Every language has a music. Like sometimes I'll learn the accents before I can learn the language. You know, like French is like a lot of like, you know, it's like. No, it is like whenever French people talk, like that's how you get the thing. Like French people always seem like they're discovering something when they speak. That's what the language is. That's like, you get what I'm saying? That's every language has its rhythm. Every language, you know what I mean? Like Italian also. That's the fundamentals, and then you can start throwing words in. You know, ciao, Maurizio. But I promise you, once you learn the rhythm, that's what I do sometimes to learn the language. I'll just like learn the rhythm. That's cool, and then I practice as much as I can. Sometimes it gets me into trouble, but I you know, yeah, I persist. That's what I do. I like learning new languages, different languages. New languages, different languages. You know, I learned Japanese a little bit. That was cool. Interesting vibe. Hardest thing I've ever done. And then I quit because I realized it wasn't going anywhere. Like the language was so hard that I was like, this is it. Because it's like konnichiwa, and then I would say things wrong, people like, you're not saying anything. So then what I decided to do was learn a few phrases really well, just so that I could make Japanese people's lives interesting. Yeah. So I learned how to say like, you know, like obvious things like domo arigato, which means like thank you very much. Yes, you know, konnichiwa, right? Hello. And then I also learned how to say niwa torigaita, which means look, there are chickens running in the garden. Yeah. I learned how to say that. I also learned how to say omae wa sudeni shinderu, which means you're already dead. And then I just practiced those. Because I realized if I try to learn the language, hello, how are you, then people are like, you can't speak Japanese. But if I just know how to say those phrases, they'll be like, yo, this guy speaks Japanese and he's weird. And I learned those phrases. I never got to use them for a long time until one day I was in an airport and there was a Japanese family next to the carousel waiting for their luggage. And I'm standing next to them and I was like, oh, I think this family's Japanese. And I edged in closer and I was like, are they Japanese? And I listened to them, I was like, oh, they're Japanese. And I was like, oh shit, this is it. And I waited for the right moment and I leaned in and I was like, konnichiwa. And the guy turned and he's like, oh, konnichiwa. Oh. He's like, you speak Japanese? And I was like, hi. He looked at me like waiting for me to say the next thing and I was like, ah, shit. Domo arigato. I was like, oh, I didn't do anything, but you're very welcome. Very welcome. Where are you from? I was like, niwa torigaita. And he's like, yeah! I don't see the chicken anywhere. You speak a very strange Japanese. Where did you learn? And I was like, omae wa sudeni shinderu. And I just walked away. And now I know this wasn't the best conversation, but he'll never forget me. And that's all that matters in learning language. Just make an impression. Connect with people. Just connect. I get into so much trouble. I was visiting the UK because they had opened up their borders and they didn't know I was a South African. And I was visiting friends of mine and we decided we were going to meet in Scotland because we used to go there for a comedy festival every year in Edinburgh. And so a lot of my friends were like, oh, we should go back to Scotland, we should hang out there for a few days. And so we all like made our way there. And it was really cool. If you've never been to Scotland, by the way, you should go. It's one of the most beautiful places you'll ever visit. Especially like in the summertime, it's gorgeous. Everything has a history to it. Everything is really, really old. And the Scots are proud of this. You know, they'll like show you everything. They'll be like, that castle over there, 400 years old. That bridge, 600 years old. You'll be like, wow. You'll be like, is that your son? Yeah, 200 years old. So we're in Edinburgh, Scotland, and one of the nights it was my turn to pick where we're going to go have dinner, and so I picked an Indian restaurant, right? Because I think hands down Indian food is the best food in the world. Like, no, if I have to choose a cuisine, I go Indian. I love other cuisine, but I think Indian food is the best food. Like literally, it runs the spectrum of Indian food is amazing. I love it more than anything else in the world, right? So. We decide we're going to go out for food. I'm choosing Indian. Now, just to give you a bit of perspective, Seattle, the reason this happened to me is because I grew up in South Africa my whole life, and a lot of people don't know this, but South Africa, especially when I was growing up, South Africa had the highest population of Indian people outside of India, right? Literally, millions and millions of Indian people. So like if India blew up, we were India. Yeah, it was that close. And so I grew up in a community that was like full of Indian people, and one of my best friends in school was an Indian boy by the name of Thiessen Pillay. And Thiessen and I, we became best friends because we both loved running, and as kids that's all we needed. What are your interests? Running, we're a match made in heaven. And so we'd sit together at recess, we called it break time every day, and we'd eat lunch together. Now, Thiessen would get a little lunch tin from his mom, and inside that lunch tin were 2 sandwiches, bread cut diagonally. And it was bread, and on the inside was last night's curry, like the leftovers. That's what he'd have every single day. And so we'd sit there on the stairs together, and we'd get our lunch out. And very quickly, I realized something, and that was every time Thiessen would open his sandwich, he'd look inside, he'd open the bread, and then he'd go, "Curry! Damn it!" And so it took a while for me to realize there was like a pattern, you know? You'd eat, do that, and then the next day, he'd come again, and he'd be like, "Curry! Damn it!" I'd be sitting there. I started to look forward to it, to be honest with you. I'd get there, I wouldn't even like touch my food. I'd just wait, and then be like, "Got it! Yes!" It was like a catchphrase. Damn it! Every day he'd do this, every day. After about like 6 months, I finally said to him, I was like, "Hey, Thiessen." I was like, "Thiessen, like, you know it's gonna be curry every day, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know, Trevor, but I still have hope." I'm like, "What do you mean you have hope?" He's like, "Because Trevor, every day my mommy puts curry in. Every day I gotta eat curry for lunch, man. But it's also the curry I ate last night. It's like curry every day. Curry Monday, curry Tuesday. Wednesday's gonna be curry again. Thursday's gonna be every damn day. Like I know I'm Indian, but it's too much, man." I was like, "Well, is it that bad?" And he's like, "I don't even know, to be honest, anymore. Here, you can have it." And he gave me his curry sandwich. And I bit into it. And Seattle, there are moments in your life that you'll never forget. The first time you taste curry is one of those moments. My taste buds found their purpose that day. Because I had eaten everything, but there were taste buds in my mouth that literally came alive. They were like, oh, this is what we're meant to do. I was in heaven. I was like, Thiessen, this is the most delicious thing I've ever eaten. He's like, I don't even know anymore. He's like, why don't you have it? And I was like, Dad, I'll have it, of course. And then I gave him my food. Because you see, I didn't get food from home. Like, my mom didn't cook. Well, she tried once, and then I was like, don't ever do this again. Like, this is child abuse. This thing here, because so then she would just give me money to buy food at school. And so then I gave Thiessen my food, and then he gave me his food, and then we made a deal. We're like, we'll do this every single day. Right? And it worked for both of us, because I always wanted a home-cooked meal, and so I had that every single day at school. And then for Thiessen, he was in heaven, because as an Indian person, he got to start a business. So we were both winning, you know what I mean? And so here we are, in heaven, every single day. We'd get there, we'd swap the food, we'd eat, we'd get there. And this is how I fell in love with curry. This is me. Love curry. Love, love, love curry. Everywhere in the world, I can tell you where the best curry spots are. So, we're in Edinburgh, Scotland, hanging out with friends. And I find an authentic Indian restaurant. I search hard. Everything, best Indian food, Edinburgh. Best Indian restaurant with no white people inside it, Edinburgh. Because that's what I search for. That's what I'm looking for. I want like the fancy spot. I want the spot where only Indian people are eating. I know that's real. So we go to this place, and it was everything I'd hoped. It was super, it was like a hole in the wall, really Indian. They had like Indian posters on the wall. They had Indian gods. They had like Ganesha. They had Vishnu. It was like Indian. There was like Indian cooks, Indian waiters. Indian music was playing. The table's really simple with like Indian coverings. And I walked in and I was like, oh man, I'm home. We got in, we sat down, myself and all my friends from the UK. And then one of my friends, Stephen, he reached for the menu. He's like, oh my God, I'm so excited to do it. And I was like, put that shit down. It's like, I'm gonna order. None of you were talking. I'm gonna order for everyone, all right? I don't need a menu. I've got you. He's like, Trevor, I've eaten a lot of Indian food my entire life. I don't need you to. I was like, no, it's not about need. It's about what has to happen. I'm ordering, Stephen. You say nothing. Because here's the thing, Seattle. Whenever I go and I eat food with my friends, what I find a lot of the time is that my white friends, I feel like they don't have the same level of respect for ethnic food, right? This is what I feel, to be honest with you, right? Because like when we go to like a Western restaurant, they have a lot of like, well, French place. Oh, they have like respect. They'll be like, oh, they'll say the words properly. They'll be like, could I get a glass of the Sauvignon Blanc? You know, and the escargot and the filet mignon. Yeah, but then when we go to like an ethnic place, then they'll just be like, oh, can I get the papadums and the samosas and the, you know? And then they'll start saying shit like, oh, could I get this one, but not spicy? Kill yourself! You can ask for Indian food that's not spicy. Do you go to a sushi restaurant and ask for it to be lightly cooked? Hate that. So I'm like, listen here, you don't order anything, you hear me? You shut up! It seems like, Trevor, I've been ordering curry my whole life. I don't care what you've been doing your whole life. You shut up, and I'm gonna order the food here, okay? He's like, so what, I can't order? Is that what you're saying? I can't? I was like, no, you can't. No, you can't. He's like, why? I was like, because, Stephen, you know why. He's like, oh my God, are you gonna say why? I think you know what I'm gonna say. Are you gonna say? I was like, because you're white! Because you're white, Stephen, you're gonna embarrass me in front of my people. I was like, your people? What are you even talking about? They're not your people. I was like, they're more my people than your people. You say nothing, Steve. He's like, I'm gonna order. And I was like, Stephen, look at me, Stephen, look at me. I am the captain. Shut up. And you let me order. He's like, you're not gonna order better than. I was like, you shut up. In the middle of this, the waiter comes over, and this is a big, burly Indian man. He's got a beautiful Indian headdress and Indian clothes. He's got a big Indian beard, and he walks up to the table. I'm busy fighting with Stephen, and Stephen's gonna question me and my authentic Indian. I'm like, shut up, I'm fighting with him. And the waiter comes over, and as the waiter comes, I think I was a little too caught up in the moment, and I wanted to prove to Stephen that I was better than him. So I looked at the waiter. As the waiter got up to me, I was like, good evening. I'm going to be ordering for the entire table, please. I don't need the menu, I will order from my heart. Could we please have 4 garlic naans, 4 rumali rotis, give us 1 shahi paneer, 1 palak paneer, 1 butter chicken for my Caucasian friends. Could we also please have 4 samosas? We'll have 2 papadums and 1 Rogan Josh lamb, of course. And 4 mango lassis for the table, please. And I could feel it. I was right. I mean, yeah, maybe it was a little too much, but I nailed it. I could feel it, you know? Everyone could feel it. The table was stunned. The waiter was impressed. He was just looking at me. So impressed. Or at least I thought he was. Then I realized I was more confused. I was looking at the waiter and he's looking at me. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and finally he leaned in and he's like, "Sorry sir, could you repeat what you said?" I kind of hear everything that you were saying, right? Couldn't tell where you're from. Could you repeat that, please? A little bit slower, yeah, if you don't mind, can you do it a little bit slower? And I was like, oh shit! He's Scottish! I mean, he's Indian, but he's Scottish! Ah, and then I was like, this is so crazy, I didn't expect this! Because we came to the place I googled, it was Indian, and when we got to the people were Indian, the cooks were Indian, the smell of the place, the whole thing was Indian. He was Indian, the beard was Indian, the head was Indian, but the mouth was Shrek. I wasn't expecting that. And now he didn't understand me, because I was speaking in an Indian accent. And I realized I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to try so hard, but then I also realized I couldn't stop. Because that would be racist. So he's standing there and I'm like, you want me to repeat the entire order? He's like, "Aye lad, if you don't mind, could you repeat it all again please? A little slower and I'll catch it this time." Okay, I can order for you. You know what? I think everybody can order for themselves, to be honest. I don't think it's necessary for me to order for everybody, yes? And my friend Steven was like, "Oh no, Trevor, I wish I could, but I prefer it if you order for me, really. I really would love to, but I'm just so afraid I might make a mistake. I wouldn't want to offend anybody, you see." Like, no, that is fine. Nobody will be offended here. We are all friends here. We are all friends here. Nobody's going to judge anybody, okay? Sometimes we make mistakes. We can all make mistakes. "Oh no, but what if I do something that's really disrespectful, Trevor? I would hate to, so please." He's way more culturally sensitive than I am. Please let him order. I said, no, this is fine. You can go ahead. You can order. I said, "I really can't." I would try to say, no, you can. "Oh, Trevor, I really order, bastard! You can order, just order." The waiter was like, "Hey, right, there's no need to fight amongst yourselves. Clearly your friend is a little uncomfortable. Just order for him." It's like, yes, he's totally uncomfortable. I said, "Okay, could we please have 4 Romali rotis and 4 garlic naans, and could we have 1 shahi paneer, 1 palak paneer, and 1 butter chicken for your Caucasian friends?" For anybody, really. Everybody can enjoy curry. It doesn't have to be spicy. You can enjoy it the way you like it. It's made for everybody, you know. Could we also please have a zzz, 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 zzz. Why are you gonna answer to that? Zzz, zzz. No, they can call me later. Zzz, 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 zzz. It's getting awkward. Just answer to your phone. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Okay. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Hello? Yes, this is Trevor talking. Yeah, no, the one and the same. How can I help you? Yeah, no, I can't talk right now. Would you mind calling me back later, please? No, there is nothing wrong with my phone. There is nothing... No, this is how I've always sounded. Can you get to the point, please? No, I have not been kidnapped. No, don't call the police. No, this is not a signal. Don't worry about it. No, you don't. No, there is no, this is not taken. No, please. I've always spoken like, yeah, well, I know my voice too, okay? Yeah, I think I know my voice very well. I've been me my whole life. Yeah, you can't, okay, fine, sorry, I shouldn't have shouted. Okay, I'll talk to you later, mommy. Okay, bye-bye. It was one of the most awkward meals I've ever had in my life. Everyone was loving it. Sitting there with half an appetite. We finally get done, we leave the restaurant. As we're walking out, we get to the door, and the waiter's like, all right, everybody, thanks for coming. Have a good night. I was like, thank you very much. As we're walking, thank you. And he's like, oh, right, before you go, excuse me, aren't you Trevor Noah? I was like, yeah, why? He's like, no, I thought it was you. I was like, and? He's like, and I totally got you, Trevor! I totally got you! I was like, wait, what? Wait, you Indian? He's like, of course I'm Indian! I'm Indian! But then you came, you were doing accent. I was like, I also do accent. You do accent? I do accent. Then we were both doing accent. I'm like, yo, no shit, this shit was, I was so uncomfortable. He's like, I thought you were having fun with me, that was great. Then I saw you were terrified, then I carry on. Why would you do something like that? I was struggling, I was in pain. He's like, no, Trevor, what? Don't you understand? I take great joy in the pain and suffering of others. You were fantastic, Trevor. Have a great night. Yo, Seattle, you guys have been so much fun, man. Thanks for coming out. Had a great time with all of you guys, man. Go out there. Have a great night. Good night, everybody. Guess who's back again?